Beating her.
Beating her. You have to literally force a child. Beat her hand to the point that you force her to use this hand. And for years, that girl struggled. That day.
Years.
For years, she struggled. For years, she struggled. She was just completely not herself. That day, I didn't wait till the next morning.
You need to go and shout.
Yeah. Oh, Lord, thank you for what you've done. That day, I went to the school, which was just a few houses away. And the teacher had gone.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of School Talk Cafe. With me on the program is
Adiayo.
And of course, I am Sele. Today we'll be looking at communication. Now, communication is very wide, really wide. There's so many aspects to communication. There's so many styles of communication, and there's a skill to this thing. And you would agree with me that communication is very key in anything we do in life. And so, even in the school system, communication is you can't remove communication from is the binding force, is the cement between parents and teachers and students, school owner and parents, and keeping all the stakeholders together. And so today we'll be looking at this communication thing
Between
parents and teachers, and parents and the school authorities. And why are we even looking at that? You will agree with me that there are times when things don't go exactly the way you expected as a parent, and you want to pass that across to the school authorities to say, hey, what exactly is going on here? I expect this and I'm not getting it, or this is what we all agreed on at the parent-teachers meeting, and now we're seeing a manifestation of something different, and could you explain, please? And you find out that a lot of those times parents are already angry, already highly emotional about these things because their children were talking about. And so when they come to school, they didn't come planning how they will say it, or even what they will say is as it's biting them. That and they come and they spit every other thing along the lines of
that had no bearing.
That had no bearing, as long as they're just saying. And of course, emotive words get in the way of these things.
Very tricky.
And when you throw emotive words, I will talk about what emotive words are. And when you throw these things out there, what happens at the end of the day is that people are triggered, and when there's a trigger, then people start acting out of turn, out of script, so to speak, because there's a normal expected script of courtesy and all of that, and you air your views, I listen, and I say, okay, we'll look at you. When emotive words come in, everything just scatters, and everybody draws their daggers or their swords, or even at times guns, not physical guns now, and it just scatters the whole thing. So how do we communicate effectively? And well, maybe we should just start from what causes these kind of things, where there's that obvious need for communication and yet it's not done properly. What are the triggers? That's triggers for that occasion now? I'm not even talking, we have not come to the triggers for the people involved, the two people communicating now. How can they trigger one another? That's one thing. But before we even get to that point, what triggers that occasion? What creates that thing that makes people want to come to school, storming to school? There are other occasions where you just want to ask, when will the uniforms be ready? You understand? Oh, my son was promised school uniforms, we've paid and all of that.
That's usually at the beginning of the session.
Yeah, beginning of the session, yes. But 2, 3, 4 weeks into the session, and the uniforms still haven't come, and I've seen cases like that.
So
the uniforms still haven't come. The child is nagging, as in practically nagging. My uniform. Everybody's wearing, and I don't have, and you have paid for this thing. So at times you're even already getting irritated by, and this school is supposed to be known for its efficiency. Is this being efficient? I mean, we've paid for something. You told me, it's
we
not.
Paid for it,
it's coming from the store or the tailors or some silly story at week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4,
sometimes
and we're still on the same. And at times even midterm, rather, it still hasn't come. At that point, exasperation has set in. Anger and all sorts, and then so that simple issue has triggered it, and now it's a sore point. So do you have any other examples of things like that? I mean, school uniform is just one.
But I've been at the receiving end of the school uniform thing, but there's always a way to handle the school uniform. You just go to the office and ask for your school uniform. You don't have, that one doesn't really need you to shout. You just need to go to the school and say, hey, Closure, my school uniform, what's the problem? And
then they give you the same excuse for the umpteenth time.
For instance, in a particular school where my oldest was supposed to have had a jacket, a blazer, do you know that she did 2 years in that school and the blazer didn't come until towards the end of the 2nd year? But we had already paid for it. And I just somehow I won't forget that there's a blazer matter in the picture. Until maybe they need a blazer. And then she goes there and I'm like, forgive me, I don't understand. Then I go to school again. Blazer, please don't be upset that the chemical.
For 2 years.
I said, before this child graduates.
So how do you accept that? How acceptable is that?
It's not acceptable.
Maybe you have a high tolerance level.
At this point in my life, if it was years ago, it would have been a lot different.
Okay.
My approach have been a lot different.
Now imagine a parent who doesn't have that kind of tolerance level. Yes, and so what we are addressing in this topic is what's the best way? What's the best way to communicate without scattering the school, without rubbing anybody off wrongly, but still getting what you want?
I think it will also be dependent on the issue at hand. If it's a uniform, depending on what part of the uniform it is, even if you shout and shout and shout and shout, if it's you need to understand that in case of a uniform, it may not really be the school, because if the school had it, the right thing have been to give it to you. So it's possible that the school is also going through its own issues and flaws of war with the vendor that was supposed to make it.
Okay, let me just pause you right there and say this. It is the school's duty to make sure that the uniform
is ready
and distributed to the children in a timely manner or fashion. Now, you will agree with me that by the time we start getting to the middle of term,
there's a problem.
At times even, the child had a uniform, but because it got torn or something, we want another one, and we've paid for it. And yet, this child has to go to school with a patched knicker or patched shirt, looking like somebody who doesn't have in a school where every other child is looking really nice and neat and proper. And my own school, a child has to go to school looking like a ruffian. I mean, it doesn't sit well. It's very upsetting. And so, we try to be civil. We get there and we hear the same story
over and over
all the time till we were at midterm or about to hit midterm.
So you go to the school.
Okay, so and then we're still hearing the same story, and you're saying, oh, it's not their fault. It's their fault. They chose the vendor. They are supposed to monitor that vendor, supervise and make sure that everything comes. Everything is about time. You don't now tell the child, oh, your uniform is ready when they're on holidays. I mean, it's not serving its purpose.
Sure.
Good. So that excuse is not tenable, really.
Okay.
It's not, because there is like a contract. We give you, we pay for it, we get it. Not that we pay for it and then we wait till forever. Because you won't tolerate it when you pay for internet and you don't get it, and every day or you pay for your cable TV and you're not getting service, and you keep on and say, oh sorry ma, we have this issue, we have that issue, sorry sir.
So we usually go and shout. We just go and shout at the office.
It's the same thing, but what we are saying now at this point, that
may not be,
shouting really is not the right way. Why shouldn't you shout? Number one, these children are involved. They are seeing everything you do. You're setting precedents and giving wrong examples to them.
For shouting.
So, yes. Now, if you are there watching and you think shouting is the only way, that's a problem on its own already.
We know it. Wait. Can we? Some people are there for. It's time to do devil's advocate. Some people are there for.
That's already a problem.
Some people don't use to
I hope
hear
you agree with me. I really do hope.
Wait, some people don't use to hear word when you talk to them calmly. Some people don't hear word when you talk calmly.
Okay.
You have to be like Bewo short before someone understand you.
Okay, there are ways that I believe you can go about this thing.
So let's hear it.
Okay. No, but I want us to list all the things that can trigger.
Okay.
Before we now
another thing that can possibly trigger is a teacher mishandling your child.
Okay.
For instance, while I was in Abuja, my second, I took her to school left-handed. And she was in preschool, and so she was learning how to write left-handed, and I was. Then this day she comes with an assignment and I see that she's struggling, and so I say, take your pencil, let's write. And then I see her switch, and then she's disoriented, she's not coordinated, and I'm like, what happened? Why are you? Then she tells me that her teacher, and she just resumed this school 1 week, so in 1 week I'm already getting upset again. In 1 week, this teacher had beaten my daughter to the point that you forced her to start using her right hand and she's disoriented. Beating her. You have to literally force a child, beat her hand to the point that you force her to use this hand. And for years, that girl struggled. That day. For years she struggled. For years, she struggled. She was just completely not herself. That day, I didn't wait till the next morning.
You need to go and shout.
Yeah. Oh, Lord, thank you for what you've done. That day, I went to the school, which was just a few houses away. And the teacher had gone. So I came back, I saw the principal, I vented part one.
Part one?
Part one. Because I was waiting to see the human being who I did not send.
I thank God that people have transformed now. That they are not the same shouting people.
I am grateful for myself. I am grateful for myself. I was bitter. I was upset. I didn't even know the far-reaching consequences about that I was going. But see that somebody had been changed from her natural hand to another. The next morning, I'd had time. You would think that I would have had time to calm down, and no, I only just had time to fester and get angrier and get more embittered. So by the morning,
you came with a full charge.
I am sure that teacher, in her existence as a teacher, will never attempt to change a child from their natural inclination to another. If only she knew the extent that child had to struggle. And so now you give her something, she just comes with this, her left. Because she has balanced out, but she still writes it her right. So I told her, if somebody gives you, you are left-handed, own it, accept it. In that instance, I shout.
So she doesn't write with her left anymore?
No. If she's not wanted, it's just be for fun. But you give her a pen, she just picks it up and writes it. But every other page she just will highlight. Okay. You say take. If you say take, she's just going to go left-handed. If she wants to give you something, she's just going to go with her left.
But you know, there's a cultural angle to that too.
So I ask people, if a billionaire was going to give you ₦1 million and he was left-handed and he gave it to you with his left, will you turn the money down? So what's wrong with us really? what is it? God brought you like that left. Then for some weird reason that we call culture, and I love my culture, but for some strange reason we say the left-handed person must switch to suit culture, and then you confuse the person. I beg now. Can we let that make sense? And that's what I'm talking about.
That's another conversation for another day. You see how these conversations just keep popping up
so that's
inside different topics. But back to,
so that's why I can say that a parent will go and vex his boy. Maybe now.
So now, how would you handle it?
This will sound very cliche. I will still be very upset. I will still be very bitter. But before I go to that school, I would have prayed inside my corner. Because that is the only way I get my temper under control. Then I will go to school the next day and ask for a meeting. I am still boiling, no. But I'm sure I will not be as eruptive as I would have been back then. So I would sit down with the teacher and the principal because I want evidence, and the child, and I will have that conversation without being too caustic, and just ask the teacher, did I send you message? Did I ask you to change her hand? And ask questions, and then begin to also teach the teacher, just in case they don't understand what it is to have a left-handed child in a class, and I know that there are men who have gone to that same struggle where they've been forced and beaten to now use their right hands when originally they had been left. So yes, I'll have that conversation, but the school and the teacher will really know how upset I am, but I won't be able to kill him.
Okay. You've already started saying what I wanted to recommend.
Okay.
When you have such issues that are really upsetting, the first thing you do is try to calm yourself down. How do you do that? Do you have a friend or maybe the other parent that you can talk to? If it's the mom who heard it first, do you want to talk to the dad? And if it's the guy you know who is calmer, or both of you are that volatile, you know.
Volatile is the word.
Do you want to just trust God and pray about it? As funny as it sounds, it actually works.
It works for me.
It works for a lot of people. But yes, I agree and understand that might not be your go-to reaction. You actually even have to have some presence of mind to be able to do that.
Yes.
You know, so that's why I first said, talk to somebody who you know is a calmer person,
yes.
You know, whether a friend or your spouse who can calm you down. Then the next step is have a discussion, which you've already mentioned. Have that discussion with the highest authority in the school. It's not, don't just leave it at you and the teacher. The highest authority, because then the teacher understands that this is a very serious issue, and you're not joining words with the teacher. Yes, you know, it's not about we shouting at each other. I need you to understand that this is unacceptable and must be stopped immediately. What I do, or I would do in such situation, is go with my recorder. Nowadays the phone can do it, and I make sure that everybody is aware that I'm recording this conversation. Now the management of the school knows that their image is at stake at that point in time. So we're recording everything, and I'm making statements clearly, and I'm saying the teacher did this, this is unacceptable, and all of that. What do you have to say about it, teacher? What do you have to say about it? And it's being recorded. If that conversation is not productive enough, then I will write first to the school authorities formally now. So I went informally, it didn't yield any results. So I do formal. I write. By the time you see, most parents don't like doing that because they think it's too much wahala. But how much wahala is enough for your child? Really? How much wahala? If you think enforcing that your child, or ensuring that your child is treated properly in school is too much wahala, then I wonder.
And your child is watching.
You know, and child is watching, because you see what you are doing is you're also building the confidence of that child that somebody's got my back.
Yes, so
Somebody has got my back.
ride or die.
Don't mess with me anyhow.
Yeah.
Although there's a balance to that too. However, that's we'll talk about discipline. When we're talking about discipline, we'll go to that side.
Yeah.
But for this case, you're championing the child's cause because the child hasn't done anything wrong. A teacher just believes that this child must be like this. You're not the one who created the child. You don't know anything about the child. You just want to turn everything upside down because that's what suits you best. Teachers must understand that every child is different and must be accorded respect.
Yes.
You know, along those lines. If the teacher has to have a conversation with the parent, then so be it. I noticed that your child is left-handed. Are you okay with that?
Exactly.
Is that, you know, you must
the conversation.
You must have that conversation with the parent and let them tell you, oh yes, and or if it's the parent says, look, this you have tried, or this or that, then that's between you and them. But that conversation must be had, not just jump into conclusions and start doing whatever you think it should be right on another person's child.
Yeah, like
now.
Okay,
after you've written formally, if they still don't, is either you take your child out of that school or you go legal. Let them learn. Let them learn. But I would assure you that no school
would want to
go legal on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It sends the wrongest of signals to parents. Although you see some parents say, it's too much now. You didn't need to go to that extent. But they say now the person when you think they pinch, and I know, you know, he who wears the shoe knows where it's pinching him or her. So it's shoes don't bite now. So good. Thank God you corrected yourself. Who said you don't pinch?
Shoes don't have fingers to pinch.
Okay. The person who's wearing the shoe knows where it hurts.
Exactly.
Are we okay with that? You just had to pick that thing.
Yes.
All right. Anyways, back to what we're saying.
Yeah.
So, and that's it. I don't have to shout to make a point.
I don't have to. Don't make me.
You can't even make me. I'm the one who chooses to shout.
Don't make me want to shout. Don't make me.
When you say you are making me, it means you've transferred your responsibility to that person. I don't think you have that much power over me. No. So if
that's a strong statement.
Yes, you don't have that much power over me. But I will do what I will do. And I will drive my point home. And it's not, you see, by the time you are shouting, and we all do, I still fall into it when I get upset about something. But when I start shouting, I say to myself, you've lost control. Because that's the truth of the matter. By the time you start shouting and yelling, you've actually lost control. Yes. So what is more strategic and shows that you have presence of mind and that you are in control is what I've just listed out there. Have that conversation. Control the narrative. Insist and be firm about what you want for your child. Everybody in the school, the way the news spreads you won't believe it. It would have gone far. And everybody knows, okay, this parent is a very affirmative person, does not take rubbish. And so if there's any other issue going forward, they will call your attention because they don't want trouble. But you see, a lot of us are permissive of rubbish. We don't tell them to do rubbish, but we're permissive.
Yeah.
You know.
Don't want trouble.
So we just, meanwhile, if you remember that what is at stake is the well-being of your child. And that at times it can have far-reaching consequences, like it did in your case and in so many other children. And at times, these children don't even say anything, but it's there in their memory. And then they start to manifest in other areas, and you're wondering what went wrong. But you permitted it.
Yes,
you might not have caused it. Yes, you might not have caused it, but you permitted it and let it perpetuate.
Yes, you know. It was okay to be mistreated. Yes.
So you need to stand up at every point in time, and that's the best way to stand up. At times, maybe your work schedule might not even warranty you going there physically.
Work schedule.
You know, yes.
Work schedule should wait.
No, see, it will wait, but not by you going there physically. I can send you a message and it will shake everywhere. I can assure you. Yes. I can send you an email and everybody knows that that email will lead to a staff meeting.
But schools that have email.
So why is your child going to a school that you cannot even communicate?
Have you heard that?
You see,
criteria of choosing school.
we talked about this in another topic about criteria of choosing the
If I
school
cannot
that
send
you're.
an email
If
to
I
the
cannot
school,
communicate remotely,
you are not a school that wants to
yes,
be my child.
if I cannot communicate remotely in this day and age, maybe way back, yeah, but now, in this day and age, what if you are out of the country on an assignment? And then your child calls and says, see what happened to me.
Send you a WhatsApp
So,
and you must respond.
okay, can you come the next day?
Sure.
So you need to understand that. I mean,
Technology
it's
is
a
tool the school must be able to
yes,
leverage on.
they must be able to leverage on that. If I want to reach you or anybody within the school premises or school system, I should be able to. That thing should be available for me to explore.
And you respond to my
and you respond. And if you don't respond, you know an email is evidence. It's strong, solid evidence.
Yeah.
So when I send you a mail and you do not respond as a school, that's already saying something about what you are or who you are.
What's your school?
You understand? So those are more effective ways than just going to yak your head off and shout and all of that. By the time you get to that point, you absolutely lost it. That's the truth.
That statement is really something. If I shout, when I start shouting, it means I've lost control.
Yes.
And this is not a therapy session right now, so I won't do this here. Okay.
Okay. So any other thing?
Well, teachers who I think we pretty much touched it. Teachers who don't know how to communicate properly about concerning your kids. I'm not sure whether I shared the instance with where a teacher sent me, and I've had both sides of the spectrum. I've had teachers who reach out to me personally, maybe when I come and drop the kid and say, oh, can I talk to you for a few minutes? And of course it's my child, I'll stop. And tell me what you see about my child, and then ask me questions, and then we come on the same page, and then so the teacher knows how to handle my child and knows what's happening at home, and then we're able to communicate properly and effectively so that the child can do well. I like things like that, and to those kind of teachers, well done. But to the teachers who just feel because you have access to the parents, you can rant or just assume issues. Those are also teachers that cause parents to be triggered. Okay, so
before now, we've just been talking about parents who have grievances and how to resolve properly with the school authorities and the teachers involved. Now let's flip it. Now the teachers who have issues that they feel they need to call the attention of the parents to, how do you think is best that they handle these things?
Okay, so
because if we're looking at side A,
we should look at B. So for instance, like I just a certain teacher who stopped me and says, oh, I need to talk to you. This is what I've noticed about your son. What's happening? Can you explain so that we can? He just came into my class, so I want you to understand him, where he's coming from, so that we can work together. And I was blown away by her proactivity. So we had that conversation, and I can see that one year in her class, beautiful. In fact, she's one of the teachers, sadly, that the government whipped out.
Why?
Well, the government was opened up education opportunities, teaching opportunities for government schools, and she took it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she took it. So that's a teacher.
And so they snatched her from the private sector. It's not like they just kicked her out or something.
No. She whooped. She anyway, from the private sector. So, but then teachers. There are also the other teachers who just feel you want to say something to a parent. You see, the wrongest thing you can do as a teacher is to talk down the parent or make the parent feel like they are handling their child wrongly, even though they may be making mistakes, even though they may be missing things in training like the child's assignments and all that. But you talking down at that parent, you are setting yourself up for a backlash, because you do not know really if the parent missed it. You don't know. You don't know what's happening in the house. Your role is to ask a question and say, oh, I've noticed this and this and this and this.
Or just even make your observation.
Exactly.
Devoid of
emotion or suggestion or anything.
Now, sorry, I would like to pause you there.
Yeah.
We talked about emotive words.
Thank you.
Initially.
Now this is,
Now, even in the other word, emotive words come to play. But what are emotive words? these are words that spark negative emotions
from the person
in
listening.
the listening
Yeah.
party's ear.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of words? You people. When you're talking, I say, the way you people handle this child. You understand? So who are the we people?
Who are the we people?
You
Handle this child.
You know
How?
that you people sounds like you're putting them down
Yes.
and saying you people, your type of people,
Yes.
you know, and it rings wrongly. You might not know what you have just done, but even the person cannot say this is exactly what you said, but it's already triggered some kind of ill feeling towards the person who said it. You people. What do you mean by you people? Or when he says
Your child is always doing.
You people are lazy, or you guys don't know how to. You start with negatives. Leave the emotions out of whatever it is. Whether parent, whether teacher, remove the emotions and address the issue.
Oh,
That
this
way you
assignment.
avoid emotive
Yes,
words.
this assignment that he was given, he didn't do it. He didn't do his assignment. He didn't do yesterday's assignment. It's different from. This is how he always does not do his assignments. You people don't used to check his and then the parents is like, really?
You people need to be more careful about.
Really?
So you're already being mental.
Yes.
You people use Yemi is lazy. He doesn't do, it's all those things. Drop it and just go to the issue. Yemi does not do assignments regularly. This week
He hasn't
being
done it twice.
Friday. This week being Friday, he only submitted one of the assignments. That's the assignment for Tuesday. So on Monday he didn't do his assignment. On Wednesday, Thursday, and today Friday, which is why I am calling you, because he's not done any other assignment this week except the one for Tuesday. Is there any particular reason so that we know how
to help you?
To help. Now you said a lot without causing problems.
Yes, without
triggering anyone.
You don't know what the parent is going through, and
So even though that's not an excuse,
it's not.
you understand, but then don't add to it. Just leave that issue for them to resolve.
Business.
It's not your wahala. Just face the one that is in your own gone.
Yes.
And that one that is your own is
The
this boy
assignment was
does not do
not done.
assignment. Why did I even say boy? The girls too don't do assignment.
Yes, so
And
they don't
this
copy
child,
their notes.
this child does not do the assignment
Assignment,
as
yes.
he should or
Yes.
she should.
Yes.
And that's the issue. So always stay on the issue.
Always stay on the issue.
Avoid emotive words. Emotive words are words that can spark emotion in the ear of the listener. Emotive words sound judgmental,
Condescending.
are condescending, and anything within that spectrum. So please, let's avoid them. I think we've
Don't just need people to comment
to a level, and so we'll be expecting your comments in the comment section as usual. Please comment.
Tell us where you went to go and lose control in school.
Share your experiences with us. Tell us about areas that we've not even touched that is real to you, that you know about, or that you're even just thinking about now. Let's know about it, because it will help us also throw up more conversations around that. And please share, subscribe. Please, we beg of you, subscribe, like, and share. Please, all the language, all the major languages, we're begging.
It's not estimation. It's not estimation.
Must we speak the whole spectrum of languages?
We've said.
Don't worry, we've said all. I know if they leave you now, we should just bring out one long list of please in all the languages.
Yes.
All right, so till we come your way same time next week. It's bye from us on School Talk Cafe. Thank you for keeping it a date with us every single time. Looking forward to seeing you again next week. Bye.